Hey everyone, either welcome back or welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about and compare what it was like last year when I was on crutches and was physically visible and not being able to do as much as what I normally do, compared to what it's like now that I appear to be normal and my abilities are invisible to those around me. So before I get into any more details, time for the intro. Back in 2018, I was diagnosed with IIH. IIH is short for idiopathic intracranial hypertension. In short, in IIH, there's an increased intracranial pressure without a known cause. IIH is known by two older names, pseudotumor cerebri and benign intracranial hypertension. Living with IIH is very hard to explain to others, as it can be hard to tell when I'm not feeling well. My hope is that through these videos we can learn together and help make relationships better through a better understanding. I also hope to provide people living with IIH a community so they never feel like they are alone with this condition. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell down below so that you get updated about further videos. I upload new content every Monday and Thursday afternoon. I'm coming up on 1 year since I broke my ankle last year, and there's always been something that's kind of bugged me about that whole situation, and it was the very way I was treated when I had the crutches compared to when I'm treated now. People would always ask me and wonder what happened to my ankle, but when you bring up IIH because it comes up in a conversation such as, well, what do you do for work or kind of thing, it can really, really deflate a person with a chronic illness, and the fact that, well, yeah, I'm dealing with this issue right now, but I know this problem is going to get better with time. Unfortunately, with my chronic illness, I'm not. So I had a lot more empathy given towards the crutches situation that I do with my IIH, and that's really frustrating just because IIH is something that you deal with for much longer and or for your entire life. IIH has no cure. So it's hard to explain to people, well, yeah, but this is a limited amount of time when I'm talking about my ankle. So I'm not as worried about it. And yet I got more concerned about that than I do with my IIH. I think there's a few different reasons why this can happen, but I think one of the major reasons is a lot of people have broken bones. They know what it's like to have to heal from an injury like that. It's really, really hard to put yourself in someone else's shoes, also called empathy, when you've never gone through that particular type of situation and probably never will. Like I said, this is why I think we get along very well with people who have other types of chronic headaches and migraines, because they can easily empathize with you. I kind of want to compare these two scenarios because, like I said, I'm coming up on my 1 year since I broke my ankle. It's only a couple weeks away at this point. And so I'm wondering if that's maybe why I struggled a little bit after I broke my ankle, because the ankle got better with time, and now I'm dealing with the IIH again and nobody can see it. Nobody can tell unless I tell them. And a lot of rejection happens because of my chronic illness, and a lot of issues come up with people just not understanding that this was more debilitating than what the ankle injury ever was. Even though it gave me a temporary disability, it's not like what can happen with IIH. I'm going to be quite honest with you that if I didn't have the structure around that I do have, it would be a much, much harder life than what I have right now. I'm so forever thankful for my close family that I do have. I don't know if it's because people can empathize with it more, that you get more empathy from it, or if it's because it's physically visible to somebody that you're treated a lot better by society for it. But the truth about it is, if you're on crutches or limited in ability for any amount of time physically, you realize just how unforgiving the world is towards people with disabilities, and especially those with walkers, canes, crutches that have to use that all the time. Every single time I've been on crutches twice now. Once when I was 15 and once last year. Last year I was a little bit more prepared because I knew what to expect and I kind of knew what was coming. What people don't realize when you're on crutches is it's very hard going up and down any steps. So what I mean by that is, so curves and curbs on the street, it's really, really hard. It's like going up a step. And to be honest, it's not very safe to be going up and down stairs. You have to be taught how to do it. And I've never been taught how to do it properly. Using ramps is also not very easy because your crutches are set on a flat surface. So when you're going up a ramp, you're automatically adding a little bit of height to your crutches. So it's not as easy either. Going down, I find, isn't as bad because it's almost like going down a step and you actually put the crutches down, then you just swing out. Like, it's not as bad, but going up is really, really difficult, I find. Now that I don't have an injury, people assume that I can do absolutely everything a normal person can do. And this just isn't the case with having IIH. And in fact, when people actually ask me and send me things all the time, they're like, oh, you should try this workout and this workout and that workout and this workout. And I'm just like, okay, how much of that workout is upright? Because I can't bend over. I can't do anything on my hands and knees anymore because it results in pain later. I actually can do it for a little bit. And if you watch on my TikTok videos, I did do the plank challenge. I paid for that thing for about, I think it was about 4 or 5 days. I paid for doing that challenge and I said never again. When people can't see that you have limitations, the judgment is maybe not outwardly visible because they may not say anything because they're being polite. But I feel like I can pick up on the fact that, people are silently judging you even though they're not outwardly being open about it. You can kind of tell by body language. The one thing I do like about my IIH being invisible to the outside world is that I don't get asked actually a lot of questions about it. Like, people don't come up to me and go, oh, what happened to you? And you get those physical reactions after you break a bone. And that's what I like about the illness not being visible, is that I don't generally get asked questions by random strangers. It's usually only the people who know who I am that'll come up and ask, oh, what have you been up to lately? And then you gotta like get into it, and it's just like, I really wish I didn't have to talk about this all the time. Now, I'm like this because I spend my entire time, it feels like, talking about IIH and what it's like to live with the condition and talking about my IIH. And it's because I've purposely done this. I've done this because I feel like it's something that's necessary to have out there in the world. I love every second of this. But when I get out and I'm doing other things that I need to do, it's not really something I like to be asked about. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as for now, that's it for today. Bye, everyone.